Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And it is Wednesday morning. Your favorite guest is back. It's the lovely Anna Kelly. How you doing, Anna?
I'm doing great today. Good to be here with you as always.
Oh, thank you for that. I treasure our time together. I look forward to every week. I have fun. And the fact that everybody else likes it is just a bonus.
Absolutely.
Hey, so one of the things that I've been doing recently is a lot of people have been talking about the housing market being unaffordable. It's unfair, this, that, the other thing. And, I've been doing this for 20 years and prices are certainly up. But as you know, prices are one part of a much bigger picture. So I got so annoyed, and usually that's what takes me to get annoyed before I actually dig in and do the work. But I got annoyed a couple of days ago, I think over the weekend, and I dug into 40 years of housing data, price, interest rates, income, payments. And then I was doing math based on incomes, right? Family of four. So I built a spreadsheet and I'd love to share it with you. And since then I've added extra stuff and we'll just break it down together. You cool with that?
Great. You mean people actually use data to make financial decisions?
Instead of opinions where people just get loud and say silly things? Yeah, I'm a data guy. That's what an econ degree does. It's like, let's look at the data.
Absolutely.
So before I do that, I'm just going to ask, if you had to guess, it's a 5-year period starting in 80. So 80, 85, 90, 95, all the way to 2020. What year do you think housing was most expensive and most expensive in comparison to the average income? What year would you guess? Just a wild guess.
Maybe 2007.
It has to be on a 5-year. So that would be 2005 or 2010.
2005.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go see what the data shows.
You know what? As compared to income.
Exactly. That's the twist.
Pricing 2005, but I bet compared to income 2010.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Because when I guessed, I think I guessed like 90 or 95 and we're both wrong. To kind of steal the thunder, we're both wrong. But where can I put actually, you know what?
Okay.
Here, I'll put you up here in the right corner. So I'm not sure what you can see, but I see you in the right corner. So here's the spreadsheet. You can see it now?
Yes, I can.
All right. So I'll go through the column for 1980, which is column B, and then it's the same thing for every year. And then we'll look at the important row. So in 1980, I don't know if this would surprise you. I wasn't old enough to buy real estate yet. Neither were you. But the average home in America cost 55 grand. Crazy.
Wow.
However, interest rates were 13.74%. So what I assumed was a 10% down payment. And this is something I've added because I could change this now. It's a variable throughout the spreadsheet. So I can make it 5%, 20%, and maybe we'll play with that in a minute. But here I assume 10%. So that means your financed amount in this example is simply 55 minus 55. So it's 49 grand. Your 30-year monthly payment, again, assuming the 13.74 is $577. Here's another surprise maybe for you. The average income, family of four, so usually that's two people, maybe not in 1980, but today it's certainly two people, was only 21 grand. That is also shocking to me.
Yes.
So then what I did is I divided this income by 12. So this is gross income, not net. It's gross throughout. I couldn't assume tax rates and all of those things, so I just used gross to make the spreadsheet easier. Then I did some math because I'm interested in percentages. The payment percent of gross income is 32% in 1980. So again, payment of 577 is 32% of gross 17.5. Does that make sense?
Huge.
Yeah, that's gross too. That's not net. That's probably a no from a bank, frankly, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing I did is down payment. I wanted to know how easy it would be for a family of four to save a down payment, in this case of 10%. So in this case, the down payment is 26% of their average income. Okay, does that make sense?
It does.
All right, so let's just jump forward to 2000. So 2000, the average home price was 131. Interest rates are on their way down. They're just over 8%. In this case, down payment again is 10%, so 13 grand. Here's your financed amount. There's your payment, right? Prices went up. Wow, I didn't even notice this. Prices are up like 140%, but your payment went up, I don't know, $300, and that's interest rate, right? Median income doubled, right? Went from 21 to 42, kind of cool, right? So that the monthly income doubled. But the payment now is part of gross income is down from basically 33 to basically 25%. Probably a yes answer from a bank, right?
Right.
Probably a yes answer.
Right.
But now down payment is required as 31% of income. So that's ticking up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And this is also, by the way, 1997 to about 2000 is when the American Redevelopment Act, I think it was passed, to make housing more affordable and start giving loans to people who didn't have such great credit.
Yes.
So they were doing lots and lots of loans at this 25%.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they were, this was the start of what later became giving. Basically what happened in the last crisis we talked about is too many people got yes answers that should have had no answers. And that eventually ended badly. Yeah, but that's a different conversation. So now let's jump to 2010. So again, housing prices are up 50 grand, but interest rates almost in half in a 10-year period. Your down payment went up 5 grand, right? Went from 13 to 18. Your payment actually went down. Get that, folks. Your payment went down. It was 873 in 2000. It's now 843. So yes, housing went up 50 grand, but your payment went down 30 bucks. Kind of cool. Income was up slightly. I don't know, slightly. What is that? 7 grand?
Well, it was down. Income was down from 2005.
Right. But I was talking 2010. Sorry. But yes. Did we lose Anna?
That's kind of where I go from 2000. I have you.
Oh, no, there you go. Sorry, I lost you for a second. So yeah, it was down from 2005. You're absolutely right. But not 2010, but yeah, 2005 was down.
Right.
Yep. So again, what do we got? Monthly income is 4,100. Look at this. Payment as a percent of family of 4 is 20%. Again, down from 2000, down from 2005. Although down payment is now up again. Right. We're seeing
and that's kind of what I was thinking when I guessed 2010. I was like, I know financing was much harder and you had to put more money down. So I was thinking affordability from that perspective and knew that wages went down after the crash.
Oh, it certainly did.
Yes, it is surprising to see even with the wages going down because of the crash and higher down payments, that the monthly payment itself was still more affordable in 2010 than it was 2005, which is surprising to me.
That's a big thing of doing this now and beating the spreadsheet up for probably 20 hours now is a lot of this is interest rate related. So if you can tell me when rates go to 5%, I can tell you when, that's kind of the story of this. But let's jump one more time to 2020, because this was shocking to me. 2020 prices are up again, right? They're now 270. But guess what? Interest rates are sub 3. Down payments 27 grand. Your financed amount is 1,012. Average income, though, look at that pop, 78,500. And now when you get to the ultimate percentages, housing in the year of 2020 was never cheaper.
Wow.
Never cheaper. And then the down payment actually kind of settles in about 33% for the last 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least for the people that are still employed, for sure.
Yeah, no, it is all dependent on average income. Yeah.
So this is employed people, not people that are getting extra money from unemployment.
That is a great question. I did not check the data source. I used the same data source for the full 40 years, and I never got the math behind their math. But again,
I bet it is.
Yeah,
I bet it's real income.
Probably. Yeah, but I can't verify that, right? Some people have replied, are you counting stimulus money? I'm like, I have no idea. I used the same report from 1980. I'm going to assume it's the same math, but anyways.
They probably don't, just because it's not technically income. It's like a temporary, temporary help. But that the fact that the incomes keep going up, and the interest rates keep going down at the same time, definitely help despite the home prices. This is surprising to me. I will say that it is more affordable than 2015. I did just recently talk today to one of my coaching students, and I hear this all the time. it's too crazy, it's too expensive, I'm just going to sit it out for a while.
Yep.
And like, you don't want to do that because we don't know what's going to happen a few years down the road.
Yep.
And just like dollar cost averaging in the stock market, you can kind of dollar cost average buying property over time and turn out and do fine, even though you're buying in ups and downs. And the pricing high, I did know that because of how low interest rates are, the payment dollar amount isn't significantly more on the average priced family home than it was before.
And then the other thing that I know, having done this for 20 years, is we've had a crazy run in prices, but you know what happens after prices have a crazy run? Rents will have it's a lagging effect. I don't know why it's lagging. It just is. But what we are about to see now, and I just talked about it on the daily financial news, rents are up 7% in 1 bedrooms and 9% in 2 bedrooms, something like that. It's rent increases you think were bad the last year. Just wait. They're about to get worse.
Yes, that's true. We're raising rents significantly and costs go up, expenses go up, rents go up to meet the additional expense.
Yeah. And you're in an apartment deal in Atlanta, right? Do I remember that from last year?
Yes.
Atlanta has the #1 rent increase year on year. I think it was 18.7%.
It has been crazy. Even through the pandemic, we actually just sold 2 properties that we had in Atlanta because we were able to sell at a very high number. But we had rent increases through the pandemic in our local market and our property well beyond what we expected. And the property still profited despite people not being able to pay.
Yeah. So actually, I've been beating up this spreadsheet even more. So the first thing, so this was my first iteration. And I got here and I'm like, oh my God, I'm shocked. And then I'm like, well, we have July data from 21. Let me go put that in. So let me just scroll over. And again, what did we see? And again, this is, it's about a year later. Prices are up again, right? 363 now is the median. Rates are down slightly. Again, same deal. Income's up only slightly, but again, it's only been, a year or whatever. But you are seeing a jump, right? The jump in 2021 has reversed this downward trend. And for me, this payment now, or percent of down payment, is becoming a problem. And again, right, we can change all of this because I got people, the first time I did this was 20% down. People came back and yelled, well, nobody puts 20% down. I'm like, all right, fine, let's try 5%. It still works, right? That's just how math works. 5%. Right. Still high here. Again, you're getting a no answer here. Right. In 1980 and 1985 with 5% down, you're getting a no because this is on gross income. No bank would loan here.
Right. Plus you're going to have P&I and you're going to have mortgage insurance if you don't put 20% down.
Yeah.
So then your payment goes up even more. So.
Yeah. You're not getting a yes answer from a bank here.
Right.
And then if you do 20%, again, everything now is, in here. The thing here for me is that the payment or the payment part of gross is still kind of the same. You're probably getting a yes answer though, right? 30, because this will take you to 34, 35. But the down payment one is interesting because when you look here and you scroll over, it gets pretty problematic, right? Now you're saying, oh my God, a down payment's 90% of your average income, right? So it becomes a problem saving this amount. So that was interesting, but I'm not done. I built more stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like real data. So the other thing I did is I took July 21 data and I just copied over here. So it's the same data, same percentages. And then I said, what happens if interest rates go up? But everything else stayed the same, right? Because again, that's my belief is rates are going to go up eventually.
Yes.
So I assumed the price stayed the same in all of this. So I played the what if game. So if rates went to 4%, everything else stayed equal. Your payment to gross is now basically 21%. And why that is interesting is because you can look back here and I would ask you, Anna, was housing affordable in 2000 or 2005? I think it was, right? It was affordable. So not crazy. All right. How about if interest rates go to 5%? It's now 23.4%. So again, we can go back to the last 40 years and see where we're at. It's somewhere between 1990 and 1995. Was housing affordable in 1993? The answer is yes, it was. And one more time, just because everybody thinks 6% destroys the market. Again, everything is the same. Price, income. The only thing I'm changing is interest rate. You get now a total of 26.17. And I go back to our lovely chart and ask you, was real estate affordable in 1991 or 1992? Because that was when it was 26%. And the answer is yes. Most people would say housing was affordable in 1991. Again, I'm not calling for these rates. I'm just playing a game. What happens if rates go up? Does housing become so unaffordable that nobody can buy a home? Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. This data is great.
Awesome.
I want you to send me a copy of this. I won't give it to anybody. I want to have it just for looking at it. This is really, really good. And it does, everything you do with investing should be data driven, not what we hear the talking heads saying and what we hear politicians saying who have ulterior motives for the programs they want to put out in place. So if they can make us think the sky is falling, the sky is falling. They can put rent controls. They can put, do different things with rates and down payments and housing programs, but the data doesn't lie. And I'm quite surprised. Now, 2021 is more in line with kind of where I thought we were, but I'm quite surprised that 2020 was still as affordable as it was. And 2021 is still affordable. Exactly. When is the last time on the payment that it was as high as what it is now in 2021?
Okay, so 2021 payment, again, I think I have 20% down. Let's go back to our 10%. Again, I put all these variables in here. So basically 20%. So you're right around here, right about 2010.
Right. And that was after
the crash.
Recession.
After. That was my best year for buying.
Better now than we were after the crash. That's unbelievable to me.
I wish people would wake up to this.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, again, the other thing I get yelled at is, no, this can't be. San Diego's different. And this is national, folks. This is national data. This is not Orange County. This is not Austin, Texas. This is not New York City. National numbers. Appreciate it for what it is. All right. I'm still not done. I got more for you.
Absolutely.
There's another channel.
I love it.
There's another channel. I don't know if you know this, but there's somebody actually calling for a 30-year mortgage at 1%. Can you imagine a 30-year mortgage at 1%?
No.
Neither could I, but I just want to have fun and play with the math.
Yes.
So, okay. So if more, again, this is this special square because I don't think it's true, but I wanted to do the math. So again, if interest rates were 1%, we would be at an affordability level of 14%, everything else being equal, right? So 14% at 1% brings us roughly back, actually better than 2020. It would be the lowest ever. So, and you would probably expect that, right? Rates down at 1%. But guess what? You and I have been doing this a while, and you and I both know if interest rates go to 1%, housing is going to go up. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's just have fun with this because I played with all kinds of numbers. Let's assume 30-year mortgages are at 1% for a year. How big do you think housing appreciation would be? Just pick a number. Be crazy.
At least 20%.
You're not crazy. That's a layup. So if housing prices go up 20%, it would bring us to 16.85%, which of course makes it very affordable. We're kind of between 2020 and 2015. Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
I think crazy is 50%. Oh, all right. Well, that brings us to 21%. When was the market 20? Oh, my God, look at this exact number, 21.06. That would bring us right here, which was 2005.
Yes. And that, I think the so what of this, and this is exactly what I said to the student today, is when you only look at price, you think it's not affordable. And I didn't even have all this data, but just based on the data I did between 2018 and the end of 2020 and 2018 and the end of 2021, is interest rates make a significant effect on your profitability as an investor. And you're talking about homeowners, but it's the same for investors, right?
Absolutely.
So if my interest rates are cut in half, which they have been, I think the prices could almost be doubled from what they were back in 2005. And the affordability is probably really, really close to being in line. And you're modeling just about that. And that proves that exact thing. So I don't look at price alone. When I look at any deal, I go through the whole financial analysis and say, what's my total return and my cash on cash based on the financing that I can get? And if I can't control price, I go for the absolute best possible financial structure for financing the deal that allows me to juice my returns despite the fact that I'm paying essentially retail for a property. So the interest rates make a huge difference in affordability and profitability.
Far outsized impact than I ever thought, right? Until I did this. I don't think I've ever done this yet, but I'm going to put 100% in here and see what the heck happens. I have no idea. I think I've done 70 before, but I don't think I've done 100. So prices double. Anna, you ready? I actually have no idea what's going to happen.
Yes.
Oh, 28%. All right. Well, where were we last? 28%. So probably between, so like, I don't know, was housing affordable in 1992? This scares me. But again, I own a lot of real estate. So, hey, if all my houses double in value, I'd be okay with that.
Wow. Yeah. Very interesting.
All right. So I got one more for you because, again, I get all this feedback.
So real quick, Michael.
Yep.
Aren't you still pretty bullish on real estate?
I am buying as many residential single family homes as I can right now because they offer the best return, the best upside. And Anna, I'm going to repeat what's in my book. If you read my book, I 1031 out of 8 houses into 80 units. I'm going to do that again. Yes, I am extremely bullish.
Me too.
Not every market
already was.
Yeah.
Yes. True. I always like to say that. You're picking that one up from me, Michael.
Yes.
It is very regionalized, right? But in general, I mean, this just even reinforces even more how excited I am to still be buying real estate every day.
Yeah.
You know, my husband said when we were at the beach, you just get this high every time you put an offer on something. Yeah. You're out of control. I'm like, no, I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm still excited about it.
Yeah. This again, what this shows you is this is one of the best times to be in. Again, it is very debt specific, right? And a lot of people that follow us and my students, they can still get cheap money, right? Yeah. You and I can't get that FHA, 10 loan money. So our deals have to be even better. But yeah, I'm extremely bullish. I got one more for you.
Yes.
So lots of people have been saying, Michael, you're wrong. When rates go up, prices have to fall down. Do the math on fixed payment. So I like a challenge. So I did. So in this example, what I did down here at the bottom, let me scroll down so hopefully you can see it, is I said, here's my base case. The price is 270 rate, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm going to try to get as close as I can to this payment, right?
Yes.
So if rates went up only slightly, to get a payment that is close, value has to fall 1.5%. Again, I don't believe this is how it works, but I like a challenge. So I did it. If rates go from 3 to 4%, the idea is things are a fixed payment. They have to fall 13%. Again, to keep the same payment, same down, with assuming 10% down.
Yes.
If we go to 5, 23%, 6, it falls 30%. Again, I don't believe this is how real estate works, but I've done the math. And again, always kept the payment right around $1,012. So yeah, I don't think people are talking about housing falling 30% if rates get to 6%. I don't believe it, but I wanted to do the math and see what they were thinking.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing. If you bought, a house that you intend to flip in a couple of years and not lose money, then, maybe if you think rates are going to 6, it's not a good time to do that. But if you're buying an investment property that you're going to hold for a really long time, guess what? Even if the values came down, 30% and rates were up, in a few years, what's going to happen? The rates are going to come back down and the prices are going to go back up. That's what happens in real estate cycles. So you have to play real estate with a long-term view and play the long game and know that you're going to have these ups and downs. Mm-hmm. Just keep playing and, invest based on data. And
again, I've lived this world before. And what happens if, again, I want to be very clear. I'm not calling a crash. But hey, if real estate fell 30%, all of my residential loans don't change. It's a fixed rate. I don't have to refi. And oh, by the way, the last time housing crashed, guess what happened? Rents went up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, a lot of this is interesting. And really what this all started with is housing affordable. The talk track out there is housing is unaffordable. And I'm like, compared to what? Housing in 2020 was never more affordable. The math says. That makes sense?
Unbelievable. Absolutely. Yes. That's great data. Really great data.
Awesome. So I've taken the action item. I will send that to you. Have fun. Go nuts.
Love it.
All right. How can people follow you, be part of your world?
Every week here, one rental at a time. Facebook and LinkedIn is Anna REI Mom Kelly. And if you're interested in passively investing in syndications, you can follow me at greaterpurposecapital.com.
Very cool. Thanks, Anna.